All right. Okay, good morning, everyone. I'd like to call this meeting of the Hancock County Parks and Recreation Board to order. It is 10 a.m., August 21st, 2025. Before we begin, please note that this meeting is being broadcast live on YouTube and recorded for transcription, public access, and archival purposes. By participating in this meeting, you are giving your consent to be recorded and included in the public broadcast. If you don't wish to be recorded, you are welcome to observe the meeting without participating. You may also submit any comments or questions in writing, and that contact information can be located at the bottom of today's agenda. I'm going to proceed with attendance by calling the roll. Heather Van Dyke, she's absent. Terry Godchuk. And how am I? Yeah, I'm saying that right. Yeah. Great.
Yep, present.
Jenny Shively.
Present.
Kelly McLaren.
Present.
Staff Kayla Brooks.
Present.
And myself, Miriam Rallis. The next item on the agenda is the approval of the minutes from our July 17th, 2025 board meeting. And let the record show that our Vice President, Heather Van Dyke, in her absence, I, as President and presiding officer, will be signing the approved minutes. So that will be the only signature on the minutes, which is what is required. With that, are there any corrections or amendments to the minutes as presented to you all? No. Could I have a motion for a motion first by Terry?
I'll make a motion that the July minutes will be accepted as read.
Okay, and a second?
I second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? The motion carries that the July 17th minutes are approved, and I'm going to sign those. Great. Let me just get ready. All right. New business on the first item under new business is an update on the impact fee ordinance and the zone improvement plan, both of which were officially adopted by the county commissioners on August the 5th. This is a big step for Hancock County as we continue to grow. It supports the long-term efforts to expand and improve park spaces for the community. Hancock County is a pioneer among the Indiana counties when it comes to implementing a Parks and Recreation Impact Fee Ordinance and a ZIP, which is the Zone Improvement Plan. For the unincorporated areas, it's a forward-thinking move that helps make sure that new development is also helping fund better parks for everyone in the county. As part of this ordinance, we'll be setting up a county park impact fee fund. This fund will collect fees from the developers building in the unincorporated areas of the county, and those dollars will go straight toward park projects laid out in the zone improvement plan. So under the Indiana law, the impact fee can't go into effect right away. There's a required waiting period of at least 6 months, and we've set the effective date for February 2026, which gives us enough time to get everything in place and make sure we're ready to go. So additionally, the Board of Commissioners will then appoint 3 members to an impact fee review board. That will be composed of a licensed real estate broker, a licensed engineer, and a certified public accountant. So the purpose of the review board is to provide an independent citizen-based body to hear appeals related to the impact fee assessments, credit any allocations, and refund requests. The board has the authority to affirm, reverse, or modify any fee related to those decisions, and this process ensures transparency, fairness, and accountability as we move forward with implementing this ordinance in zone improvement. I'm happy to take any questions if you have them.
When the test and collect.
So the fee is assessed and collected by the developer, and they will come to the planning and building office to process that permit.
Single family.
$12.
$12 impact fee is assessed. New units. Buy an existing home in Hancock County, is charged. Build a new home, however, an additional one-time $412 fee is assessed and charged for the development of the park system.
And our financial, what is Mary Bummer's title? Financial advisor to the county, or, don't quote me on that.
Deputy to the auditor, maybe?
Deputy to the auditor for the finance piece. She is in charge of creating the fund numbers, and she's already established those numbers for us. We cannot use the funds for anything other than park development. So, any other questions from anyone? Great. So we're going on to old business. The 9-Star Park land donation. So the board has been working with 9-Star to acquire some acreage off of 300 West. And the 9-Star Board of Directors meeting that was scheduled to approve that donation was scheduled for October 19th. It was postponed. But that's okay, because next Monday on August 25th, during their strategic board retreat, 9-Star is going to hold a special committee to discuss preparing a letter of support ahead of the September 2nd Board of Commissioners meeting. And I will be on the board, the Board of Commissioners agenda, in my capacity as county realtor to request approval to order 2 appraisals and address any related items for this parkland donation. It's important that these appraisals are completed by October 10th. Though that would be in time for the review by 9-Star's Finance Committee and the Board of Directors, so they have the land values that are documented. And I will continue to track that progress and provide an update at our next meeting. The 2025 Indiana Trails Program Grant application window runs from September 1st to October 1st of 2025. And if we can obtain these 2 appraisals by mid-September, we may be able to include the fair market value of that donated property as part of the 20% required match. So, subject to confirmation of an in-kind contribution in the policy packet of the ITP, which is the Indiana Trails Plan. So I'm going to verify that eligibility in the application handbook or with a DNR staff to make sure we can, if we get the values before the allotted time of that grant. So the reason we are applying for the grant is because we're going to drop a trail down in this donated park and hopefully have that trail paid for with the parkland that's donated. Any questions about that? It is great. It's so exciting.
One question.
Yes.
Has the
We're not on that one yet. We are on the
sorry.
9-Star Park.
Okay, so sorry, I'm jumping ahead.
You're fine, and I'm going to answer that question
Love the
soon.
9-Star Park. Yes.
We have a long agenda.
Great.
Yeah.
300 West, great.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
It's all good. It's all good. So any other questions on the 9-Star Parkland donation that we are really excited about working with them in collaboration? It is situated right off the most beautiful Pennsy Trail that Pennsy Trail org helped make and create and is still working on and beautifying and all the things. So we appreciate that, Paul. Okay, let's see. We are on the Ignite grant. So I recently presented our Ignite grant opportunity. I'm going to get out of this slide. So I recently presented our Ignite grant opportunity. It's a $50,000 non-match grant during a community input session with the town of Shirley, the Octagon House, and the Shirley Community Visionaries. I explained that our letter of intent has already been submitted and introduced for this grant. This is a trail extension project. It's highlighting the county's recent purchase of Mr. Sarowski's old railway bed. It's going to connect with the existing city park trail. And to complete this connection, we've had to have asked the Octagon House's blessing to allow us to, the trail to cross in the frontage of their property. So to help visualize the possibilities, I shared this slideshow and I presented some visuals, samples of asphalt concrete concepts. And the decision was really positive. Members expressed strong interest in the designs, such as a hopscotch and a word search, and the silver dollar coin trail, which is, what's happening? Oh, I was going to say, I didn't see it, it was all white. The silver dollar coin trail, which is probably the one we'll probably end up being able to pay for, that particular piece, is it coming up? That particular piece is, would be in front of the Octagon House, and it would be.
This one.
Yes, it would be silver dollars that populate in front of the Octagon House with facts about the Octagon House, such as Jane Ross Reeves. She had a shoebox, and there's the picture right there. She had a shoebox that she collected silver dollar coins in to pay for the house. So just little tidbit facts like that would be in this little hopscotch type of a art concept. So I outlined the next steps, securing a formal letter of support from the Octagon House. And obtaining a cost estimate was the goal at this meeting. So in order for me to ensure the project reflects what the town's identity and values and vision are, I wanted to speak with them. It is their town, right? So we want to be transparent. We want to work with them. We want to make sure that they have their placemaking and all opportunities for tourism if this grant goes through. So since that meeting, we've secured 4 letters of support for this grant from the Highway Department, the town of Shirley, the Shirley Community Visionaries, and the Octagon House. The Ignite application window closes on August 28th, so I'll be requesting, which I've already done, a cost estimate before the close of business day Friday, but I've already done it. So I'm hopeful that they can expedite it so we could submit the application on time. Any questions on this trail?
So I have a question. So of all of these different pictures that were submitted, this is the one you're going with?
No, I've submitted them to the, trying to think of their name, Global Asphalt Art Company.
Oh, okay.
And it depends on the fees. So
Okay.
I don't know, I'll need the art estimate and how much that will cost. And then I will need the installation cost to see, because we're already about $17,000 over the actual grant
Oh, okay.
funds. I think that there is,
Including these little guys?
those little guys they are going to be part of the trail if I can get a good estimate on them too.
Okay.
They will probably come later, the
Okay.
groundhog figurines.
Okay. I really like this because it is cohesive with the literary trail or whatever.
Yeah.
The art trail, whatever, with the words, in the sidewalk. So
Yeah,
I
they were
really
really
like this.
excited about that. And then the hopscotch from all aboard the Shirley Express all the way down to, the Toot Toot. It'd be fun to have a path even to show the direction from the far west, which is New Jersey and Shirley, towards showing where they can end up at the Octagon House. It's all about tourism and giving a voice to Shirley, really. Okay, moving on. Is that all right? Did anyone want to see anything specific on my slide?
Looks great.
yeah, it does.
But we were really happy about this particular slide, so. Okay, let me just dial it down here. Maybe this would be helpful. I'll see if I can zoom in. So here is the Octagon house itself is way over here. And the Shirley Trail from the city stops right in this location. And we would continue on straight across because the Octagon house wants a straight trail. Straight trails are cheaper too, so that makes it nice. They want a straight trail across. And then here, this area is an undeveloped road segment that I was able to vacate. A lot of people were driving through it with their cars, and we want to put a fence up there and beautification of that area so they stop crossing, and it won't allow them to cross it in addition when the trail is laid, because that would break the trail and cause disruption to the trail. So another reason why we want to put a fence up right there, and then some grasses and things that will look similar to this. Why are there groundhogs? The groundhogs are because there's about 30 of them that need to be rehomed, and they're on the bridge. So, and then the hope is, the vision is, that once we've implemented this trail, we will have some momentum to finally end up at 1125 East with the trail. So that is a future plan. It's a vision. It's not part of the actual ask for this portion. And this piece right here, the property was acquired in 2024 with the thought of creating an extension of that trail. Okay. Not sure why that's not opening. Apologies. With this in a view, I guess. I'll just leave it. All right, we are on to the 5-year master plan. So our board has already received and reviewed the draft of the 5-year master plan along with your office. So the Plan Commission also has it.
Oh, this is not,
It is not, but
this is me acting, any review I have done of the park master plan is very much basically assistance to this park.
almost like a consultant. Yeah.
Since there is no park staff, where you've got like John from GIS, you've got planning department staff, you've got highway department staff, you've got other departments kind of helping, and also then helping to see that they.
Okay, but our board has reviewed the draft of the 5-year master plan, and it was discussed at the Board of Commissioners meeting on August 19th. Our consultants, Pros Consulting, their representatives Travis and Leon were present to answer the questions that our commissioners might have. And the purpose of those discussions was to move that draft forward to finalize. So the next step will be for our board to formally approve the plan and make a favorable recommendation to the Board of Commissioners to adopt. And then I've drafted an acceptance of resolution letter that I've submitted to our county attorney, Mr. Binky, on August 6th for review. And at that time that is approved, our board will receive the final revision of that plan in September for review and adoption. And then following that, Pros Consultant will come back in October to the Board of Commissioners for that final plan's adoption. So what does the 5-year master plan do for the county? It will allow us to file for these larger summed grants, like the Land, Water, and Conservation Fund, if the federal government implements that and DNR implements that again, because it was canceled this year. So we're hoping that they bring that back in 2026 for us to take advantage of that. And we hope to attach it to our grant that we're applying for that 9-star land donation to get that trail implemented. Any questions on the 5-year master plan at this point?
Got one.
Okay, comment.
And also, it does provide this board with a direction.
Yes.
So it is very important that the board reads through that draft and understands and agrees with the direction it's taking. It has, my favorite part of any plan, it's like a checklist of, here's your short-term plan that's working, and actually check it off and really accomplishing what's laid out. It gives us direction in projects that we're pursuing.
So I do have a question. As a stakeholder for the trails, is there a chance to be able to see what that's going to be before the board approves it?
I'm happy to share it with you. Yes, should I email it directly to you? Because I don't know that I have your,
Afterwards.
thank you very much. Okay, so anything else? Looks like we are on to public discussion. We can open the floor for public discussion. If anyone from the public would like to comment, please state your name and spell your last name for the record. Aaron, did you want to speak today? That'd be great.
Hello, my name's Aaron Spalding. My last name is spelled S-P-A-U-L-D-I-N-G. It does have that U in there, which sometimes people leave out. I am coming to you today because I am interested in working with the board and the county in this area of the state about bringing an athletic facility, an indoor athletic facility, to this side of the state. How I got there, I have been working on this for a couple years. Been in communication with the Lilly Endowment. They then in turn sent me to the Community Foundation here in Hancock County, and the Hancock County Community Foundation sent me that this might be a good place to go. Now, the reason I am interested in this, or a little background on myself, guess I should give that first. I've been at Eastern Hancock schools for 27 years. 24 of those, I was the head basketball coach, the boys basketball coach there. Since 2010, I've also been the athletic director there. Prior to that, I was the government and econ teacher. But through all my experiences, especially as basketball coach, I spent a lot of time in the off season driving to other parts of the state for various things. There's all types of these athletic facilities, but they're primarily in the Hamilton County region. You've got Mojo, which is in Noblesville. You've got Best Choice, which is in Fishers. You've got Grand Park, which is in Westfield. So a lot of our people spend a lot of time in their cars. I think a facility on this side of state is desperately needed. There is currently nothing like it from the western part of the county border to the Ohio state line. There's just nothing. So you've got people driving all the way from Richmond sometimes all the way over to Hamilton County. This facility would accomplish a few things. Number one, we'd have a closer facility for our youth to be involved in sports. And I think that is really needed, especially in Hancock County and the eastern part of the state. I think a lot of families are being taxed heavily financially with travel sports and those types of things because we don't have an adequate high-level competitive youth program in this side of the state. So they're getting taxed there. The other thing that I would like to think about is a lot of travel sports take place on the weekends. It takes people away from church and their faith. I have a partnership already to go already with Fellowship of Christian Athletes. that would like to partner with us, maybe when people miss out on church to Sunday, of partnering with them to bring chapels, those types of things, so they don't feel like they're missing out on that aspect of their life. The other thing that I believe this would do is would give during the day, especially in the winter months, this facility, while all the kids are mostly in school, you could open it up for pickleball courts, which is becoming very popular, but those are all outside. And also a walking track around for people to walk, especially in the winter months, to give them a place to go. I would be happy to answer any question. I could talk about this all day. One thing I did want to mention that I've been working with the Boys and Girls Club as well for the past, since I gave up coaching in 2023. I've been doing basketball trainings a couple days a week in the off season at the Boys and Girls Club. I have a great partnership set up with them. There's some other things, but I'd be happy to answer any questions or talk about it afterwards. But I just wanted to introduce myself and see if we might have some interest in looking more at that.
So Aaron, what is the closest indoor facility that you know of?
Of this type,
Yes.
It would be in Mojo in Noblesville.
And that's the new one, right?
It's had a different, it was once called Finch Creek. I don't know of any now I don't believe we have anything in the county. I mean, we have our school facilities, but and then the Boys and Girls Club, I mean, it's got a gym, but there's just no way that you can have a thriving with one gym. They do have a second gym, but it's a tile and it's just not functioning. And that serves a lot of other purposes as well.
And when you attend, what sport activity is it that you are going there
Me
for?
my experience is in basketball, but
Okay.
the same facility, it could be used for volleyball.
Right. I was kind of
Youth
getting
wrestling,
into
there's a big need for a place for youth wrestling to take place. What's become bigger and bigger the last 10 years is youth cheerleading events, those types of things. All of those could be utilize the same type of space.
So say I'm a parent and I've got a child that's in basketball. Because of this situation, how much is it going to cost a parent, basically, to have their child be a basketball player?
Yeah,
Or Eastern Hancock?
that's a good question. Now, it can be accomplished a lot of different ways.
Sure.
Depending on the cost of the facility and are we trying to pay, a mortgage type of thing? And I do have ideas on how to finance that too. But let's just say, I'm going to use at Eastern Hancock, we have a thriving basketball league, and I'm more experienced with boys. I started that when I got there in 1999. I think a kid plays for, I think we charge now $65 to play. And that includes, just a T-shirt uniform, and then they play.
What about the transportation piece?
The transportation, now, it's all at our school, so they don't travel. Whereas a lot of people are paying lots and lots of money to go to, like I said.
So because you
Mojo.
can't travel and they all come to you, I guess my point was, if you could travel, would you do more? I mean, if you didn't have to travel and you had a place to...
And I think, yes, I think you would get involved. But here's what happens, okay? Here's where my heart really lies. Your uber talented kids in any sport, they're always going to be taken care of. They're going to go. But the kid who loves the sport or loves a sport and doesn't, maybe have the means economically to join a big club, they don't get that. So what I would really like to partnership is like a thriving county league, possibly even some surrounding counties, bring them in where like Eastern Hancock third graders could compete in the league with Mount Vernon and you could even open it up to various elementaries, if we have multiple elementaries in the county, and you could create where they're playing with their own people surrounding with them, thriving. I have parents all the time talking about, hey, we need something good. Can you recommend a league we could go to? Or I have that all the time from all 4 of the county schools. Some of the schools do a good job, and some of them just don't have for instance, we have, for our elementary league, we have 3 gyms at Eastern Hancock. pretty much have them full from 3:30 to 8:30 every day. And the only reason why it's 8:30 is we don't allow anything after that, or it would be 10. So they could come in, but our kids are practicing, our elementary kids, because our school teams have to practice first. They're not done to practice till 8:30. And since it's once a week, I think parents can understand that. But, if you have, times where kids could go and play, where maybe they're getting home a little bit earlier, I have no doubt that facility would pretty much be hopping from morning to night.
So are you looking at this as more of a recreational league facility, or like kind of a training facility, or both? And, the big building at Grand Park, has multiple courts or spaces, and is like multi-level, has like a little snack bar area, and also functions as event space. They host smaller, home shows and, garden shows and things like that. So, it's booked all the time, with whatever. So kind of how big of a facility are you imagining?
That's a very good question. My thought process, for it to be worthwhile, I think the absolute minimum would be 3 courts. I think a great start would be 4, would be ideal. I feel, I think anytime you're going to have some type of concession area, not to mention people are going to need it. Secondly, that's a revenue producer. Other than that, I think, obviously your restrooms, those types of things, how big of square footage, just depends on what the finances are. Like I said, I do have ideas on how to finance that. And I'm happy to go into any of those if we want to talk about that deeper. So I guess I would prefer 4 courts starting out. And then, if you had possibility, another thing you could do if we had the funds would be like to open up another space like a turf area where you could have batting cages in there, or you could have where you could do hitting lessons or pitching lessons, or speed training, those types of things that could be added. Now the gym space could be used some for speed training. So to answer your question, I would want it to be competitive, but not crazy.
Okay.
Which is, I think, where we're at in sports, and I think a lot of parents are wanting it to be competitive. Not, there's a lot of great programs that it's more recreational, it's just fun, and those are great. But I think we need an area that's competitive, but not, like I said, crazy, where they're crisscrossing the country and those types of things.
And so then do you imagine like your target age? You mentioned like 3rd graders, so like 3rd through like high school, or 3rd through middle school?
I would say, I feel high school kids for the most part are taken care of. They have plenty of space. Now, I'm not saying there would never be any time for trainings, those types of things. Sure. But they're for the most part. Now, I guess I'll back that up. There is a need for training, quality training at the high school level that's close. But as far as leagues, tournaments, I'm looking more at K through 8. Like we start our Eastern Hancock Elementary at kindergarten. K1 is our first league. Those games, we don't even keep score. We have special rules. It's nice and relaxed. It's amazing when they move to 2-3 and they start keeping score, how everybody's blood pressure goes up. But that would be, I think, like this summer I hosted a tournament or a league in Anderson, Madison County, at the old Highland High School, which is now Highland Middle School, for middle school teams, 7th and 8th grade. Like high school teams could be going every night anywhere, and there's plenty of opportunities. Those lower levels are what more local opportunities are needed.
Envision staffing something like this? Volunteers to be coaches?
I feel for the coaches, like here's where I'd volunteer, or as far as coaches for the leagues, I would say, like Eastern Hancock could sign up as a team and they've already got a coach. So that coach signs their team up, and they've got a coach. So as far as that, I feel like, that the coaches are not going to be a problem. Well, that'll never be an issue. Now, as far as workers, training, I mean, obviously revenue's got to be produced, and it can be through gate access. Now, I do not want it to be like one family told me for a weekend tournament, they paid for one person for a weekend pass for an AAU tournament, they paid $75 to get in. Now, nothing like that, looking like a $5 entry fee, something of that nature to staff it. But then I'm moving closer to retirement. I don't know what I can do. I always want to do something. I'm very happy in my job. I want to make sure that I'm clear of that. But kind of thinking that I'm passionate about this. I think it's needed in this side of the state. I've got twin sons who are majoring in sports administration. So I'd love to. I know that's what they're passionate about. And then I think there's a lot of people who we could bring in. And I even envision a day where you start, maybe there's an ortho office in this place where people can come in for ortho or have staff with a trainer. I think more and more it's needed. Maybe even athletic-minded counseling. More and more people are going crazy, I think, with just dealing with the whole sports world. I want to bring it kind of back to where I feel like I grew up, is about developing character and learn how to work with teams and those types of things.
Have you found any grant sources by chance? Has that been?
I have. People, right now I'm looking for somebody or some group that I could I have a lot of people I think I could approach. Mm-hmm. Now, I did reach out to the Lilly Endowment, and that's why I said where we went through, sure. The Lilly went sent me to the Community Foundation, and Community Foundation felt this was the best place. But like I said, I would be happy to. And I'm from the educational world. I've been in education. This is now 31 years, 32 years. I don't know, long time. So that, and I know we apply for grants, but I'm very familiar with athletic budgeting. Mm-hmm. I'm not familiar, like you guys were talking about, land grants and all this and parcels, and that is foreign to me. So I would need a lot of help with that.
Can I reach out to the town of McCordsville? I believe there might be some efforts for a sports park type concept there. Mm-hmm. So that would be one place to point you to work with. I know as far as this body goes in our parks, very, very, very early parks department, this is not something that an impact fee collection could be spent on, because it was guided more toward that's the reason we were able to keep it so low, is because it's very basic trails, right. Nature areas, things like that. So this would probably be beyond our 5-year master plan at this point.
However, the 5-year master plan does.
It'll happen again in 5 years.
It'll happen again in 5
years. Yeah. The thing that I think like I said, I'm looking for a body just to kind of work with. I don't even know, like I said, I think I can approach people, and I've got, for instance, talking about financing, I think you could sell naming rights. I mean, some business is going to find that very beneficial to have it named the whatever building. I don't want to say it out loud because I don't want anybody's put it. And then my other thought, we have 4 courts. Each court could be a certain entity. They have their logo at center court. They can brand it however they want, those types of things. And I think that could be, very solid funding possibility with it. But like I said, I'm just looking for a body to work with and say, okay, and approach various possible investors, donors, whatever you want to call it, I think with that.
What is your timeline that you're thinking?
One.
You don't have one. So yeah, it would be great to.
Yeah, I mean,
to collaborate and try to see what's out there, right? Happy to collaborate with you.
Yeah,
you know,
I'd love to come back anytime. I can have a much more formal presentation at any time, just give me some notice, and I'd be happy to address
That would be wonderful.
this board again.
Okay.
Any idea what you want the building to look like?
You know what? I love being in the gym, so I don't care if it's a pole barn, as long as it's got heat and air and a bathroom, I'm good. So
Snack bar.
snack bar, there you go. I need a place to get a drink, so.
Yep, this is wonderful. Thanks.
Have you considered any, and I don't know, I mean, I don't know what's empty or not empty, but have you considered, like any of the warehouse things that already exist along that Mount Comfort corridor, as
I mean, existing buildings?
as an empty shell?
Yes, I have. Actually, I looked, now this is just outside the county, but there is a building just on the other side. It's on 109. I think it was a warehouse, Tom's Building. If you've driven, I'd say no data center. That's what it's related to. If you've seen Henry County, no data center. And that would be cheaper if there is an existing, building, because it already has parking, it's already plumbed. I've worked with builder, I've had a builder go in and look at stuff, that type of thing.
Is that outside of Hancock?
It is.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure it's outside. I don't think it's it's just outside of Hancock County.
I think you were referring more to the
I
western
was
side
talking
of
on
the.
the western side, like Mount Comfort,
My
600.
only concern, I would be willing to look at that. My only concern in doing it in Mount Comfort, that's pretty close to Noblesville. And I mean, I think this side of the state needs it. I mean, even New Pal, there's not much over there. But if you go to Mount Vernon, why not go to Mojo or that in Noblesville? Because it's pretty close. I understand that, and I'd be happy to talk to anybody, but I think it's much more needed on the eastern part of the county. And that's where, obviously, I'm from Eastern Hancock, and I'm a Wilkinson resident, so.
Not even if it was ag-based? Okay, well, we look forward to speaking with you again about this, so.
Okay,
I appreciate
thank you
your
so
time
much for-
of coming out and sharing this with us, and hopefully we can collaborate on something.
That'd be great. Thank you so much for your
Okay,
time.
thank you,
Thanks,
Aaron. All right, here is Paul. Paul?
Hello, I'm Paul Galley, Galley. I represent the Pennsy Trails of Hancock County. I just had a couple things I just wanted to bring up. First of all, I wanted to thank the county and the Parks Board. We had a mowing crew that came through, including our new section of the trail between 400 and 350 West. Actually, while our volunteer group was working on Tuesday morning, so they got to see the mowers come through and say, oh, good, we don't have to deal with all of these sections. We can go a little bit wider. So thank you again for that. I wanted to make the group aware that the Pennsy Trail's going to have a social fundraiser for our vault toilet November 4th. That's going to be at the Wooden Bear, and they're going to have trivia, music, a 50-50 raffle. So hopefully we can get a good start on funding
sounds
along there.
great.
And then if anybody's interested in seeing what those glowing stones look like in the dark, I was out at the trail on Monday night and got to see it. It's beautiful. They glow much
Did
more
you
than
happen
I
to get a
expected.
photo?
So what's that?
Did you happen to take a photo?
I have a couple photos on my phone.
If you wouldn't mind when we converse,
Sure,
to send me
yeah.
back one.
Well,
Okay.
thank you so much. That's all I had this week.
Oh, thank you, Paul. Great. Anyone else? Okay. Well, we don't have any action items on the agenda today. So if there is no further business, could I have a motion to adjourn the meeting?
Motion to adjourn?
Thank you, Kelly.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes. This meeting is adjourned. The next meeting is scheduled for Thursday, September 18th at 10 a.m. right here. So thank you for your time today. We really appreciate it.